Wait. Wait. He lives near me. Hey, Kavi, if you see this, want to go to the beach or something sometime, dude? Bro, I'm like way paranoid about the IRS, man. I hear so many like horrible stories. I hear auditing is like the equivalent to getting just them digging in your hole. Being like, I don't know. We found, here's a couple. This was in there. You care to explain this? Why is this in there? Why the hell would, what are you doing for 3 weeks that you're taking a break, dude? Did you go into a coma? Okay, dark side of being a producer. Let's go.
The dark side of being a full-time music producer. I've experienced all of the glamorous stuff you
Getty Images. Having a Getty Images picture is pretty high profile, you know?
see posted on social media, and behind all that stuff that looks amazing on Instagram, there's a bunch of ugly stuff behind.
What was that? What was that there? Okay, so these are ads. 27K on ads, 120,000 total on ads. Brother, I've never run a single ad in my life for YouTube, which is like the opposite of Busy. Because I know Busy, that's like basically how he gained a majority of his
And now I can only talk on my own experience, and this video is by no means meant to be me complaining about all my problems, because at the end of the day, if you're making music all day, every day, full time, you're blessed, and I know that. I just really haven't seen many people talking about this kind of stuff out in public, and I feel like there's some stuff that you should be made aware of.
I feel like I see DJ Payne talk about this kind of stuff a lot, or at least like use other things as a jumping off point in order to talk about it.
Picturing this ideal full-time producer kind of lifestyle. It's definitely easy to think everything will be perfect once you make it, but that's definitely not the case. First, I want to go over the dark sides of running a more e-commerce kind of business, whether that's selling your beats on Type Beats, kit selling, content, anything in that kind of world. First thing is the income is very inconsistent and it comes in waves. So there's often time.
That's one good thing about YouTube. Like ad revenue is pretty consistent if you continue uploading often.
Times where I have a huge run of crazy months, and then I start making financial decisions thinking that that's my new normal, only to fall off by 50% the next month. And then
shouldn't have bought that Lambo, dude. Should not have bought that Lambo. Shouldn't have bought that Starbucks, really. That Starbucks is, get in your pocket real quick.
and it goes down for a while and then it comes back up. And whenever I was first coming up, it was really easy for me to think my sales were just going to keep going up every month. I was going to keep making more money every month. But then it kind of normalized and it went down for a while, and it really just kind of comes in waves. And unfortunately, some of the income is kind of reliant on algorithms. If I'm posting videos all the time promoting my products and they're doing amazing, I'm going to be getting a lot more sales than if I post videos.
What? Okay. Are you talking about sales via this?
That I think should be doing amazing, but that just aren't really catching the algorithm. I'm going to be making less money that month, not just from the YouTube.
See, I mean, it's not hard to guess why. Let's see. 21 Savage Brewster cooks up insane melodies. Well, bro, like, horrible thumbnail. Also, I think the title could be better too.
Not just from the YouTube AdSense revenue, but from people seeing my kits, seeing my products. So that's one thing that is a very big con about doing any business in general, not just the music business. But your income will never be predictable. The next thing I want to mention is it costs money to make money. A lot of people see my YouTube videos where I talk about how much money I've made selling beats.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, at least for me, like with YouTube, I haven't spent a dime. The only thing I've spent money on was a camera when I started. Not even at the very beginning. Like after I made some money from it, I bought a camera. I was using a GoPro at first. I have not run a single ad for YouTube. I mean, it's definitely different when you're selling beats and selling, you know, kits. Maybe selling kits, you could do free marketing. But music, you may wanna promote in some fashion. The only problem with promoting music is if you're doing like straight up like ads on social media, you know, it's like a really uphill battle. And then if you're like trying to buy your way into playlists, like good luck, because you're gonna need it. There's a high chance you're gonna end up in a botted playlist. Should I buy Busy's course? No.
Beats, selling sample kits, and it's easy
At least
to
in my opinion.
see that big number that I'm talking about in that video.
So you didn't buy those plugins for Plugin Police? Oh, I do buy plugins sometimes. I mean, that is true. Sometimes they send them to me for free too. Some of them I buy and it's just like a fat L, dude. Like that Waves Equator one, total shit, dude. Total shit. Complete marketing fraud. I did post a video on it though. I probably got my money back on it, but yeah, garbage. Waves is like their marketing is like way better than the actual plugins they've been doing lately.
And assume that I'm pocketing all that money into my bank account and that I'm some kind of millionaire, which I am 100% not. Behind all those glamorous, huge sales numbers that I've posted in the past is a shit ton of expenses. And one of my biggest expenses to sell sound kits is ad spend, which is a huge expense. Sometimes I can spend over.
What? This is crazy. That's insane, is it not? 124K total. What is this? What platform is this? You guys know? That doesn't look like Facebook to me.
$10,000 in a month just on Facebook ads. And then
oh, it's Facebook ads. Okay.
On top of that, I've also got a video editor, shout out Key, graphic designer. I work with session musicians, so I have to pay them every time we work on something.
Okay, actually, wait, there is one thing I do pay for. I have an editor for my second channel. My buddy Kick Clouds, aka Casey. He does a majority of them. I do like half of them, maybe. And I pay him every month, like a good portion of the revenue.
And I've also got a marketing team that helps with my email marketing, my web
marketing team,
all that kind of stuff. So let's say I make $40,000 in a month. That sounds like a crazy, unachievable
That's crazy.
Number, and it is. It's a great number, and I'm super blessed to have hit numbers like that. But if I make 40 and I spend $20,000 to $30,000 in expenses, I'm not walking away with that whole $40,000.
You got to cut that cost down. Dude. That's way too high. That's way too fucking high. That's not. I feel like that's pretty unreasonable.
$1,000. And then after that, I get taxed on that money after my expenses are paid. Which brings me to another thing that a lot of producers don't think about, and this really fucked me over when I started making a lot of money.
Bro, fucking taxes, dude. This will fuck your shit up if you're not used to it. Like if you don't know it's coming. You gotta put aside a bunch of money to pay taxes.
Producer taxes. So to give you a little story, and I've talked about this before, in late 2020 and early 2021, I started making a ton of
like, bro, if you're spending that much on ads, you might as well just like reach out to influencers and try to like buy sponsorships or something. Because like I think you'll get way more money back on that than you would running Facebook ads. Like maybe do both. I don't know. Like that seems 100K is crazy.
Money. I went from making anywhere from like $800 to $1,000 a month to making $30,000 in a month in less than a year. And it was completely new to me making income at this level. I got an apartment on the 40th floor in Hawaii.
Wait. He lives near me. Hey, Kavi, if you see this, want to go to the beach or something sometime, dude? You trying to skate?
I was paying a ridiculous amount in rent every month, and I was putting every single dollar that I made into the stock market, which thank God I didn't just go around and buy a bunch of dumb shit like a new car, jewelry, crazy clothes, or anything like that. But I was completely neglecting taxes until one day in I think August of 2021, I started thinking, I was like, oh, you know, I've made a lot of money this year. I might need to start thinking about taxes. And then I remember doing the math on how much.
Bro, I'm like way paranoid about the IRS, man. I hear so many like horrible stories. Like I ain't even like the second I was like, oh, I'm making enough to pay taxes. I better do that. I hear auditing is like getting raped for like a year straight. It's like the equivalent to getting raped. Just them digging in your asshole, being like, I don't know. We found here's a couple. This was in there. You care to explain this? Why is this in there? Why was this in your asshole?
Money I had made and how much taxes I was gonna owe, and I was like, oh, fuck. So I had to spend August all the way until April of the next year saving every single penny that I made just to pay my tax bill. And I'll never forget the day that I had over 6 figures in my bank.
The flex, dude. The flex is crazy, man.
Bank account, paid that tax bill, and then had less than $1,000.
There's no way, dude. He's saying he owed like 100. Like, I mean, maybe that's just the implication here. Like, it's like kind of like, you know, being hyperbolic for YouTube. He owed 100K in taxes. That can't be right.
In my bank account. It was a crazy, weird feeling. It felt like I had been doing all this work and like, what did I have left to show for it? But it really showed me that you need to be smart with your finances and be prepared for taxes. One little hack for you guys, once you actually start making money and things are going up for you as a producer, please, and I'm not a tax expert, but make sure that you are not an LLC and that you're an S Corp. Because when you're an LLC, you do get protection from people suing you and stuff like that, but you get no tax benefits. You don't get any discount for being an LLC. But when you're an S Corp, your company can get a huge discount on the taxes compared to if you're a self-employed single member LLC. Now that's a little technical, but I promise look into it because I think the next year it's safe.
Yeah, he probably wasn't itemizing. He was probably just playing it up right there, though, in my opinion. I mean, there's no way it was 100K. That's crazy.
Me somewhere around $30,000 to $40,000 on taxes compared to what I would have paid. And also, even if you're not making a ton of.
The IRS is going to see that drum monkey receipt and laugh at you. They're going to be like, Yeah, you can't write this off. I know it technically counts, but come on. Come on now. Come on. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. We can't let you write off this plugin right here. We can't let you. We will lose all credibility as a government agency if we let you write off this plugin right here, okay? Like, what is this? What is this thing? Come on now. Come on now.
Money as a producer yet. One golden rule that I have been using is whenever I get new money in after I pay my business expenses, I take 33% of whatever that money is and I put that money into a tax savings account. So now whenever I have to pay my tax bill, I've been saving for it constantly throughout the year.
I agree,
it's just
Tom.
in that savings account that I know is not my money. So I know I can't spend that money, and that has made taxes a lot less stressful for me. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about, which I kind of touched on a little bit, is lifestyle inflation. A lot of times whenever people go from making no money to making a ton of money, it is super easy to just, inflate your lifestyle. You're like, oh, I'm coming up. I wanna get that nice apartment.
Yeah, you can pay quarterly.
Get that nice car. I want to wear these cool clothes, all this shit, right? Problem is, once you do that, it is very hard to go back and downgrade back to what you were already fine with having. And as someone who 100% fell for that trap, it's not worth it. Don't get me wrong. I love all of the stuff that I've been able to do in the lifestyle that I'm able to live right now. But if I was to do it all again, I would live way below my means for as long as I possibly could to save as much money as I can. I promise if you keep your head in the dirt and just save money for like 5 years, you will be in a way better position than if you go out and start spending a bunch of money.
Well, duh. I mean, come on. Like, that's just, I don't think I even need him to tell me that. That's just common sense. I mean, yeah, but once you get a lot of money, hey, you just start seeing dollar signs or you start seeing Lamborghinis.
Right away. Real quick, before we get into the rest of the video, if you want more in-depth information on stuff that people just don't really talk about publicly.
You could very easily, 100K if you made over $1 million before paying taxes. Maybe. I mean, he did say 40K a month. I don't know. But, like, he should be able to write off a bunch of stuff, right?
The music producer space, you should definitely look into the Sonics Academy. I 100% do not try to gatekeep any knowledge, and I try to give you guys all the knowledge that I can in these videos, but I don't have the time to be dropping 4-hour videos, and I've always wanted to give a deeper level of knowledge, so that's what made me start the Sonics Academy. And inside of there, we do 2 weekly group calls where you can talk directly to me every single week. We do beat reviews, give you...
Wouldn't it be more work to do this? Like, you don't have time to do a 4-hour video, but you have time to do hours and hours of Zoom calls? It's just be honest, man. You make more money doing this. Let's just be honest here.
Feedback on your beats. I have big platinum guest producers come on, rate your beats, and also give you the opportunity to connect with them. I also do weekly master classes where I teach on things like sound design, how to make money, all that kind of stuff. And you also get access to every single course I've ever released, plus some that are exclusive to just the Sonics Academy. So if any of that sounds interesting and you want to be mentored by me on a deeper level than just...
No Chance producer who simply produces music makes 40K a month. Well, he sells beats. Like, he's like a pretty popular producer on BeatStars. He also uploads content. He has kits. So it totally is possible. Why everybody got to have a course? Money. Free money. It's not really free money, but it's money. It's a lot of money. You can make a lot of money off those.
These YouTube tutorials. It'll be the first link in the description, and as a thank you for watching the channel, if you use the code DARK on this video, it'll give you a 50% off discount on your first month in the academy. Anyways,
Yeah, I need a masterclass on how to make a masterclass. That would be solid.
Let's get back into it. The next kind of section I want to talk about in this video are records. More of the actual industry stuff with placements and all that kind of stuff. So one of the first big cons is you're not going to see any of your royalties or publishing money for like 6 to 12 months until after a song comes out. So if I get a Drake song today, Billboard #1, I'm not going to see a dime of royalties for probably around 9-ish months, which once the ball gets rolling and you've had songs coming out consistently for years, so you've got money coming in, it's not as big of a problem because you know that that money's going to come and money's coming from old stuff already. But whenever you first start getting placements, you're not going to have a huge come up right away unless you sign some big publishing deal, which I'll get into in a second. And now you might be wondering, okay, well, it's going to take me a while to get my royalties. That kind of makes sense, but what about my advance? The advances almost never get paid on time, sometimes never even get paid at all, which is really shitty. Me, for example,
like Kanye, I don't think he paid for anything on Vultures yet. Vultures 1 and 2. I think he might be making Vultures 3 too or something. Sorry, but you can make that much money just producing. I know several producers who don't tour or play shows or make videos and make 20 or 30K on streams alone. That's possible, but yeah, you need a lot of streams, dude. That's not easy. I think what he's doing might be easier than making 30K a month on streams. Cause like how much do you need to make? Wait, hold on. Spotify stream calculator. You gotta be getting like millions, right? Let's see, 1 million. What is a million? So a million would be, wait, is that a million? That's a million. A million is 2,300 a month. So 10 million, you need to get 23K. I mean, obviously, you could split it between different platforms too. So, let's say you get, half of it on Spotify, half of it on Apple Music. Yeah, you need a lot of streams, dude. That's a lot. That's not easy.
I've got around 30 to 40 records right now that are released. They're out there by major artists, major labels that I have not been paid for. We've been trying to get paid for months, sometimes over a year, and it takes a ton of following up, and you kind of have to know.
I mean, I guess it could be placement. Are you talking about placements too, Tom?
How to deal with these labels to get paid. Now, don't get me wrong. There are labels and there are times where I get paid perfectly on time right before the song comes out, but the
No, I believe it. I believe it. This guy, like, wait, hold on. Let's pull him up. He's like one of the top sellers on BeatStars. It's got 1 million plays on here, 1,000 tracks.
majority of the time, especially in the rap industry, if you're not annoying the labels to pay you, you're not going to get paid. Anyways, like I was saying, the only way that you're going to get a huge come up immediately after getting a placement is if you sign a big publishing deal. And I feel like a lot of producers have this dream in their head of, getting some big placements and then cashing out on this huge deal to come up and get a huge bag. But these publishing deals have a huge dark side to them.
Yeah, his thumbnails are pretty funny. Hold on, let me pull up one. The faces in the thumbnails. I mean, I've done a cringe thumbnail or two here and there. The open mouth shit is funny to me. Like, I guess it's like you're letting them know you're going to be yapping. You're going to be yapping really hard in the video.
And I haven't personally been in one of these deals myself. I'm currently in a publishing admin deal, so they don't own any of my publishing. They just collect a fee for going out and collecting my money. The type of deals that I'm talking about are co-publishing deals. And these are deals where you essentially get an advance from a label, and then they typically own 50%.
That is the same picture, Weaver? It's not the same picture. It's close. It's like shocked versus like, I don't know. It looks like he's just opening his mouth, Like it's like pretending to be shocked versus just opening your mouth. Like you're going to eat food or something.
Of your publishing for whatever the terms of the agreement are. And now on paper, this probably doesn't sound too bad to you. And I'll give you an example of a situation that would sound super, super appealing to a lot of upcoming producers, but that may not be all that you think it is. So let's say you get a few big records coming out and all of a sudden the labels start hitting you up wanting to sign you to a co-publishing deal. Let's say that the records are doing pretty solid numbers, nothing insane out of this world, Billboard #1 hits, and they offer you $250,000. Now that a lot of people have never seen that kind of money at once, including myself in their life. And it's very, very easy to give into that temptation to sign that deal and take that advance. But a lot of the times the deals are not good long-term, which I won't get too in depth.
Well, what are they getting from you? It depends how the deal works. Like, are they what? How does the deal work? I need to know how the deal works. I don't really want to read all this right now. Yeah, hit the like button. Good idea.
On in this video, but even assuming that they had good terms, let's just break down how that 250 would really pan out. So let's say you get that $250,000 advance, right? You sign the paper. First thing you're gonna
okay, so it's an advance. Okay, and they're what? Are they just paying it back from the placements? The royalties on the placements?
Have to do is you probably had a lawyer.
Oh, they just get all your publishing for X amount of years? Okay, then that's shit.
And a manager helping you with that contract to make sure that you got good terms and you didn't get fucked over by the label. So right off the bat, let's take, I don't know, somewhere around 5% for a lawyer and maybe 15 to 20% for a manager. And let's just say 25%. So now you're left with $187,500, which is still great. Now, let's say that you don't have your tax business set up perfectly and you get taxed on that like you would with self-employment taxes and everything. Let's be conservative and just take away 30% of that. So that's taking away another $56,250 from that $187,500. So after taxes, you're left with $131,000. And now you still might be thinking, I don't know what you're talking about, $130,000, bro. That's game over, right? Like you made it. But let's say in exchange for that 250, because 250 is a pretty good sized pub deal. Let's say they signed you for 5 years. Other than advances that you're going to get paid for songs, or if you're selling kits and stuff on the side, you're not going to see any publishing revenue until they recoup that $250,000 that they gave you. So you pocketed $131,250 from that $250,000, but your publishing royalties need to recoup that full $250,000 before you ever see a dime of those publishing royalties. So let's assume that the songs aren't going insane and that they're not going to recoup anytime soon. If you don't have any other income streams other than advances here and there, you've really got $130,000
They just take it all for 5 years then.
$1,200-ish to live off of for 5 years. So if we divide that by 5, that's like $26,000 a year, which is not terrible. And like I said, I haven't signed one of these deals myself, so I don't know exactly how everything goes, but I have a bunch of friends who have, and I talk to people who work in publishing all the time. And a lot of times those big publishing deals that you get offered really aren't what you might be thinking they are in your mind. All right, another downside to working more in the industry and not as much on the online stuff is you've got to travel a lot. Some people see this as a positive, right? I mean, it's fun to travel and go to different places, meet new people and all this kind of stuff, but it costs a lot of money. You got flights, hotels, food, transportation, and you're kind of gambling and risking spending all that money with the
You're buying food no matter where you're at, but yeah.
hopes that you go to a studio session, you meet the right people, you do a song, and then once you do that song, you've got to wait until it drops, which might be a year, and it might not even drop at all. And then all that money you spent to go to LA or New York or Atlanta or wherever it was kind of
Let's assume.
goes down the drain. But to be fair, you could also change your life traveling and meet the right people and completely turn everything around. So I'm not saying don't travel at all. I just want you to be aware that this stuff costs money, and a lot of stuff that looks good on Instagram, but in reality, it's not as good as it seems. Now, the last little section that I want to get into is more of the day-to-day things that suck with being a full-time producer. And one of the first things that I don't think I really thought about whenever I was picturing being a full-time producer is you kind of lose the time to work on music. Like, it might
Yeah, definitely true. I have much less time to work on music than I used to because of YouTube. If I had like like more reliable editors, I still have to go through the DMs I've been getting sent. I could probably do that, but I don't know. Another buy my course advertisement, kinda. I mean, he did like have it a little bit in there, but I don't know. I mean, this isn't like a full grift for the course. I think there's actually a video that's all write-offs. That is true. You could write all that off.
might shock some of you guys to hear this, but I only work on
Maybe that's why he's paying 100K in taxes.
music probably 2 or 3 days a week. And that's not to say I'm not working. I'm working all the time. I'm scripting these YouTube videos, filming these YouTube videos, making ads, running the business on the back end, getting on calls, networking, sending stuff out. All this kind of stuff takes a huge toll on your time. You kind of lose the time to do what you love most, which is making music. Because at the end of the day,
On the plus side, though, all that time spent doing other things, it makes you kind of like want to make music more. It kind of builds back that hunger for doing it because like you kind of lose that from focusing on it so much before you get into all this shit. So I mean, there is some positives to it. I mean, it's not all bad.
if you want music to be your job, you have to treat it like a business. You can't just sit around and do whatever you want, make whatever kind of stuff you're feeling, and treat it like you do whenever it's just a hobby, just something that you do for fun. And to be fair, there may be people that disagree with me on that, but especially when you're doing the online stuff, if you are not disciplined on top of all the business stuff, you're not really going to see the success that you would be seeing if you were on top of the business stuff as well as the music. And kind of going off of that, one con that you could also see as a good thing about being a full-time producer is you have no set schedule. I feel like a lot of people who come from the 9-to-5 kind of world see this as a huge plus. And to be fair, I've never worked a 9-to-5 job, so I have nothing to compare it to. But sometimes it can be a big con because you have no like external force. You have no boss telling you that you have to be doing something. So it's very easy to,
Some people are like really bad with this. Like, I mean, I don't know. For me, it's like a plus not having a boss. And like, if you're self-disciplined, then, basically you can kind of like control, like, I don't know, for me at least, like if I play video games all day, I feel really fucking guilty. If I play video games at all, I start to feel guilty, So I don't know, if you're not the kind of person that like will guilt yourself for like spending too much time on yourself or like trying to just enjoy things, it can kind of be a problem. If you're like a hedonist or whatever, you may really struggle.
you get on your phone, you get distracted because you're not going to get in trouble. And instead of getting in trouble by getting yelled at or having a conversation with your boss, you pay the cost for doing stuff like that with your income. So you have to be super disciplined and be able to set yourself into a schedule. And if you're not a very consistent kind of person, it can be very hard because you have no guidance. You have to be good at kind of creating a schedule and a set routine for yourself.
I can't believe he really lives in Hawaii. This guy also lives in Hawaii by choice. Like, I don't know if you could pick a more expensive place to live, really. Like, especially in the United States, that is. I mean, California might be, like, LA might be kind of close. I don't know exactly, but a lot of things here are really expensive.
And especially with online shit, it's very dictated by the algorithm, and the algorithm is very momentum driven.
Oh, hey, I wonder if I'm on here. Wait, I kind of want to, like, see if I could see myself. Am I a narcissist? I'm like, am I in here? Wait, am I in here? I see Ben Jordan. Oh, there I am. I see me. I see me. There I am. I see me again. Oh my God, I'm everywhere. A lot of shorts. Okay.
And the algorithm is very momentum
There's me.
driven in my experience. Like if you have a lot of momentum, you're posting consistently, you're posting good content, it's getting good views.
Who's forcing you to live in Hawaii? Well, I was born here, and then I stayed here, and then I had a child here, and then I don't want to move away from my child. So that's kind of it there.
And then all of a sudden you decide to take a 3-week break. That's
Why the hell what are you doing for 3 weeks that you're taking a break, dude? Did you go into a coma?
the algorithm is ruthless and it punishes you whenever you take a break or if you stray away from the stuff that's working and go off and just try some new stuff that you want to try. It could definitely hurt your business and in turn hurt your income. To be fair, with all the stuff, it's a double-edged sword. You could try something new, it could go even crazier. But at some point, working every day and doing music full time, especially online based, it can start to feel like you're creating stuff to feed the algorithm or feed what's worked before. Like, you know, I'm trying to recreate kits that I've done well before instead of going off and just trying something new that I might want to try because I know that that's going to work and I know that that's going to make money. And again, I'm not complaining, even if it feels like you're kind of...
Bro, my daughter's playing a song right now and it's showing up on my Spotify. She must be playing it on Alexa. Well, let me turn this off. She like really likes that song. APT, she really, really likes that song. She like plays it on repeat.
Almost all of us would rather make a genre of music we don't really like every day full time than flipping burgers. The next thing kind of goes for placements and the online stuff, pretty much everything. A lot of your success that you're going to get as a producer is kind of relying on stuff that you can't 100% control. You can only control how much work you put in, how focused you are, how good the stuff you're creating is, and all that. But you can't control what the algorithm does.
Wait. Why would you show that comment, dude? I would not show a comment like this while saying that. Let me just jerk off to somebody telling me I'm fucking great. I'm so fucking great. I'm gonna print out this comment and come all over it.
All that, but you can't control what the algorithm does with it. You can't control if you do a song with that artist, are they gonna drop it? You can't control all this stuff. So a lot of your income, a lot of your success is relying on other people or algorithms and other things to fall into place with it, along with your hard work in order to make stuff happen. Whereas in a normal job, if you're putting in the hours, you're clocking in, you know that you're gonna get the money. Another thing that I hear a lot of people talk about this just with success in general, not as much just with music production, but one big thing that I have personally experienced is that nothing is ever good enough. I have accomplished...
I wonder what is like spend on like hair products. Yeah, I gotta spend like $1,000 a month on hair products, all right? You think this just stands up on its own? It's fighting gravity, all right?
I have accomplished and I'm doing and I'm working with people that I used to dream of working with, and I still day to day feel the same as I did before I accomplished all that stuff. It always feels like it's cool for a week, I'm hyped for a week, but now what? You could think of that as a good thing too, because you know, it drives me to go further.
How much I like my comments? Loads.
Do better, keep pushing forward. But sometimes it sucks that it's hard to sit there and enjoy all the things that you accomplished because you're always forced to continue going because you don't want to lose your momentum. So you got to work through burnout. You got to work through being
I don't know if you want to work through burnout. That's actually a legit reason to take a break. I don't know. Or maybe just focus on something else for a bit. Maybe pay someone else to edit your videos or something. I don't know. How do you even really get burned out if you're paying someone else to edit your videos? I guess like you can get burned out on other things. I feel like it's hard to get burned out on doing music though. Like if you're burned out on like the particular thing you're doing with music, then do something else with it. There's a lot of different things you could do.
And a lot of that stuff can be tolling on your mental health. But in my experience, it's kind of just part of the game. You got to be built to go through that. One of the jokes that I've seen online, I forget which post, but essentially it's like I quit my 9 to 5 to go full
True. Burnout should not be reoccurring. True burnout is basically depression. That's a good point. That's a really good point.
time with my business. And now I work 24/7. And another thing that just kind of goes in general with everything is the music industry is not really set up for you to make a ton of money. It is extremely hard to get to a level where you're making a ridiculous amount of money or even just a decent amount of money where you can
What's up, Coffee? It's reacting.
go full time. It's ridiculously hard to get to that point. However,
What is your monthly expenses on hair products? Wait, do you live in Hawaii? Because I also live in Hawaii.
if you love making music, you cannot picture your life any other way than just making music all day and that being your whole life, everything revolving around that. It's 100% worth all the bad shit that I just listed out, that I just talked about. I'll deal with that for the rest of my life if it means that I can sit down, make samples, play around on my synths, and get songs with artists that I love and call that my job. By the way, I don't...
Oh, you used to live in Honolulu? Yeah, I still live there. Where do you live? I mean, I gotta tell you where you live now. When you were showing that part, you showed like Waikiki or something. That's an expensive area. That's like the tourist area. Hey, what's your address, fam?
Video to just scare you off and bitch about all this stuff that sucks about being a full-time producer. I just think that not enough people are fully transparent and honest about some struggles that come with it, and they want stuff to look good for Instagram. And I felt like for a certain group of people, this video might be helpful or insightful. So anyways, thank you for watching this video. And again, if you're interested in the Sonics Academy, getting some more mentorship from me,
Kakako. Nice.
link is in the description. You can use that discount code DARK, get 50% off your first month. Appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch y'all. Peace.
That's pretty solid. I think like one thing you didn't really touch on that would have been cool was how like when you first, I mean, at least for me, like when I first got into producing music, I was like really hyped on making music. You know, I was like listening to some music, getting like ASMR tingles from it, and I was like, oh man, I really want to make something like this, you know. And then the longer you make music, the less you kind of lose that magic when you're listening to it. You kind of just get like it's like you're like scratching an itch as opposed to like feeling like you're doing something magical, right? I think like the dive into like the business stuff was good, especially the taxes, dude. That's something that a lot of people don't think about because not a lot of people, you know, have started their own businesses other than this. And you really, if you don't know about that, dude, you're gonna be paying thousands of dollars at the end of the year that you may not have saved up. The idea of not being able to make the music you want to make seems so sucky. That is kind of true. I don't know, but at least for me, at least because I'm more focused on YouTube, I kind of just, whenever I make music, I make whatever I want to make. So, you know, but hey, I'm not making this kind of money either, though. I got fucked on that shit. Make sure you get taxes in order. Bro, for what it sounds like, I mean, if you're paying 100K in taxes, bro, you got to work on your write-off skills, man, or get an accountant. Do you get to actually enjoy music and put away the producer ear? Because it's something that became hard for me. That's what I was talking about. Essentially, you develop the producer ear and you start analyzing everything that you hear. And then nothing is magical anymore, unless it's like so like cluttered that you can no longer really pick it apart, you know? And at that point, like usually a lot of times things that are cluttered don't really sound good. Sometimes, but depends. Okay, pretty good video.